All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. We're getting started a few minutes early, well, about 10 minutes early, but that's okay. Today we are going to be going from San Francisco to Dallas Fort Worth. I know last time I said we were going to do the long haul from JFK to Heathrow. Don't feel too comfortable with the state of the sim right now. I think this is manageable. If something happens, I'm going to be upset, of course, but I think I can handle losing this amount of time more than a long haul flight. So, um, anyway, Kev's going to be flying with me today. He's already on the runway, ready to go. This is kind of what our flight plan looks like for today. We're going to take off of JFK. We're going to get into the jet stream, kind of. We're going to have some turbulence along the way, but once we get probably more than halfway into the flight, it should be okay. Should be smooth sailing the rest of the way. It's going to be a little bit bumpy getting out of San Francisco, though. So this is what it's going to look like once I generate the flight here. When the way we take off today, let me just pull this up. Chart sit the night 4. So basically, we're going to take off this way. We're going to have to turn, get to Galoo, and then we're going to go up this way, and then we're going to start hanging right turns to get to here. That's what it's basically going to look like. I think, the stream might be running a little bit behind already. Let me just refresh it real quick. Nope, you're not seeing my... Okay, that's interesting. All right, well, I'll show you the departure chart. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and generate this. We're going to go ahead and spawn into our aircraft, get things started up, and all that. I think I can still pull up. Yeah. That's the weather right there. So anyway, all right. Hello, Kev. Morning. All right, let's go ahead and here and get things started so we can get in the air and get going. I think it's going to be about a 3-hour flight. It might be a little bit less, give or take. But anyway, we'll get going here. I've got some snacks. I got my drinks. So, and this is the last stream until I get back from Providence. We may do one on the 5th of July. I don't know yet. There's Kev already on the runway. All right. Let's go ahead and get things going here. All right, let's get the flight plan in. Okay, let's go ahead and get down here. Payload. 6.5 is a reserve. Some lights on there. On no runway, I'm stuck in the mud. Okay. Load. Index is going to be 36. Is our cruising altitude today, and 239040. 31. Let's just make sure. Yep, 31. Close enough. All right, departure. 2 right. 4 transition at here. Departure arrival ILS 18 right. basically, there's our. I'm gonna get the TCAS on before I forget. We'll do all the ILS stuff set up once we're in the air. We need to get some lights on in here. This makes things a little bit easier to see. Okay. Let's get the lights on. Alright. Let's get the APU started. We gotta get some doors closed. Great thing is now I'm tapped low potential. Sorry, I'm getting things kind of set up here. Door management, close all. Alright, that's gone. Alright, let's get the APU started. The lights on. This going. Ooh, might help if I put on the fuel, huh? Started. Let's get everything switched over to the APU. All right. Let's get the ground connections released. Okay, let's get the flight director on. For the initial speed. All right, let's talk to.
San Francisco clearance delivery United 1702 IFR to DFW ready to copy.
United 1702 is cleared to DFW Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 28 left climb and maintain 7,000 feet.
It can't make the sim.
Departure frequency is 133.95 squawk 7253.
Man. Alright, I know what we're going to do.
United 1702 cleared to DFW Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 28 left climb and maintain 7,000 feet. Departure on 133.905 squawk 7253.
Right? That's what I put in the flight plan.
United 1702 readback is correct. Contact ground on 121.8 when ready to taxi. Good day.
San Francisco ground United 1702 with whiskey ready to taxi IFR.
United 1702 taxi to and halt short of runway 28 left using taxiway Alpha Delta Bravo Foxtrot cross runway 19 right Foxtrot cross runway 1 right Foxtrot. Contact tower on 120.5 when ready.
San Francisco ground United 1702
Darn right, I
runway
prefer it. I'm
28
not gonna.
right.
United 1702 taxi to and halt short of runway 28 right using taxiway Alpha Delta Bravo Foxtrot cross runway 19 right Foxtrot cross runway 1 right Foxtrot cross runway 28 left Charlie. Contact tower on 120.5 when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway 28 right using taxiway Alpha Delta Bravo Foxtrot cross runway 19 right Foxtrot cross runway 1 right Foxtrot cross runway 28 left Charlie United 1702. San Francisco ground United 1702 requesting pushback.
United 1702 pushback request accepted.
Alright, we'll get the engine started once we push back. Go here. Down. Zoom this one down. Actually. Put that there. This needs to go to 10. Starting right engine. Number 2, powering up.
San Francisco ground United 1702 requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the right.
United 1702, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
San Francisco ground United 1702 requesting the end of pushback.
United 1702 request to end pushback received.
What was the climb and maintain? $7,000. Might help if I hit the switch on. Takeoff flap set. we're set to go. Thank you, Kev, for flying along today. Appreciate it. Last flight together. Well, we might get one done tomorrow, but we'll try to get one done together tomorrow. Sunrise here. Really looking forward to getting out there getting up to Providence, not out to Providence, up to Providence. Yes, the galley switch is on. It's right here next to where the battery thingy is. Let's see it. I saw it the other day. Right there. It is on. Cabin utility. That's our galley switch. That's what we're going with. It is on. Yeah, we'll just say the cab utility. I'm going to say that's the galley switch for this aircraft. It's not like the Avro RJ that actually has a switch that you can use for all that. Alright, there's our... Actually, let's go... I don't see anybody. I see one way out there in a Cessna 172. Go on, Kev.
San Francisco Tower, United 1702, ready for departure runway 28 right IFR to DFW.
United 1702 altimeter 29er.9er wind 257 at 1 tree. Cleared for takeoff runway 28 right.
Cleared for takeoff runway 28 right United 1702.
Kevin's up and away. Alright, let's go. Hello, Debbie, how are you? I had to look there for a second. Got us just as we're getting ready to depart. Alright, let's go.
Airspeed alive. 80 knots.
Rotate.
E2. Positive rate of climb.
You're coming up. And away we go.
United 1702 contact NorCal departure on 133.905. Good day.
133.905 United 1702. Goodbye. NorCal departure United 1702 is passing 900 feet, climbing 7,000 feet.
United
1702 NorCal departure altimeter 29er.9er radar contact. Continue.
Yeah, flying it out of San Francisco.
Bank angle.
Oh, give me a break with your bank angle nonsense. And that is how we do that. Look at that. Nice morning flight out of San Francisco International. Where else can you get this for the low, low price of free? So we're going to head right over the Bay Bridge, San Francisco side. See the city there, just to the All right, we'll let the autopilot take over. Look at that. There's Pac Bell Park.
United 1702 climb and maintain 11,000 feet.
Climb and maintain 11,000 feet United 1702.
Nice departure out of San Francisco today.
United 1702 contact Oakland Center on 119er
Yes.
decimal 475. Good day.
Continue to climb out.
Going to 119er decimal 475 United 1702. Oakland Center United 1702 is passing 7,600 feet,
Yep, there's
climbing
Pac Bell
11,000
Park.
feet.
United 1702
There's
Oakland
Bay
Center
Bridge,
altimeter
there's the Golden
29er
Gate,
decimal 9er
there's
9er
Treasure
radar
Island,
contact.
there's the
Continue.
Oakland side. There is former Naval Air Station Alameda.
Contact Oakland Center
There.
on 127.8. Good day.
Aquatic Park here.
Going to 127.8 United 1702.
Ferry building is right there off the
Oakland
left
Center
wingtip.
United
San Francisco
1702
Ferry
is
building.
passing
You can take the ferry over
9,200
from
feet, climbing 11,000 feet.
United
East Bay,
1702 Oakland Center
open behind
altimeter
us.
29er decimal 9er 8 radar contact. Continue.
there is Alcatraz. Aquatic Park has the submarine that was used in the movie Down or Up Periscope or Down Periscope, whichever one's with. Oh, thank you for the 30 bits, Kev. Appreciate that. The one with Kelsey Grammer, where he was a submarine commander. And they gave him an old World War II submarine. You can actually take a tour of that sub.
Oakland Center United 1702. Request flight level 180.
Alright. That's interesting, but it wouldn't let me. It give me the. No, but we're just gonna go and play. Alright, now we can zoom out.
Oakland Center United 1702. Request flight level 260.
I have some.
United
They're there.
1702 climb and maintain flight level 180.
I have.
Expect flight level 260.
Climb and maintain flight level 180. Expect flight level 260 United 1702.
United 1702 contact Oakland Center on 119er decimal.
Yeah, I have one like.
475.
Here's
Good
one
day.
for. There should be one for laughing.
119er decimal
Oh, here.
475 United
For hi.
1702. Goodbye. Oakland Center
I have
United
one for hello.
1702 is at 15,400 feet, climbing flight level 180.
United 1702 Oakland Center altimeter 29er decimal 9er 7 radar contact continue.
There's one. Yeah, I got them
United
from.
1702 climb and maintain flight level 260.
Kev was on. Ooh, look at that. We got a 55 knot tailwind. Oh,
Climb and
man,
maintain
that's
flight level
fantastic.
260 United 1702.
No, I do have some. I got them off of Etsy. Kev was the one that told me about that. They're little army dudes. Okay, let's go ahead and get our. Oh, you got to get to 20 or 36,000 feet. We're on our way to 26. I appreciate that. I'll have to think about it when I get back from Providence. I'll,
United 1702
Give that
contact
some
Oakland
thought.
Center on 127.45. Good day.
Going to 127.45 United 1702. Oakland Center United 1702 is passing flight level 195, climbing flight level 260.
United 1702 Oakland Center radar contact continue.
man, we are catching some good wind right now. Look at that. Where are we?
United 1702 contact Oakland Center
Gotta be
on
out over the Central Valley by now
126.85.
for sure.
Good day.
We are over.
126.85 United 1702. Goodbye.
Oh, we're not. Oh, we'll be passing kind
Oakland
of
Center United
over Stockton, so we're
1702
almost.
is at flight
We're
level
technically in the
205,
Central
climbing
Valley
flight
now.
level 260.
United 1702 Oakland Center, radar contact continue.
All right. Once we get, I'm gonna go. Yeah, it's for the last 10,000 here, so we can just continue on to 36. 360.
Oakland Center United 1702. Request flight level 360.
United 1702 climb and maintain flight level 260. Expect flight level 360.
Climb and maintain flight level 260. Expect flight level 360 United 1702.
All right, there we go. Got that set. Now let's look at our charts while we're climbing or cruising altitude today. All right, so we have our star. We got it first. It's all the way down here. And that one. Approach. 18 right. Nice long runway today. And that. And our airports. Oh, wow, they can have A380s into Dallas. Wow, I didn't know that. All right, so let's look at our. That's a star. We're gonna come in. Basically. Oh. Go to 3,300 or 33,000. That's all right. Do what you got to do, Kev. So we're gonna come in right through here. We're gonna split right down the middle of the approach, I believe.
United 1702 climb and
We're gonna
maintain
come
flight
right
level
through here
360.
to here to here to here.
Climb and
To there, to
maintain
there,
flight
to
level
there, to there, to
360
there, to there.
United 1702.
So that's our this part right here should be, I believe, Mdano. Let's have a look at our flight plan here. Yep, right there. And then, oops. Interesting. Alright, and then we need to go that there, execute. Alright, so that puts everything where it should be. Leave it 2,400 feet for final. Right, Eddie? Yep, that jives. Alright, so let's look at our. So we're basically going to come through here. To here. To there. To there. And then. We're going to kind of turn towards Ickle. That's our approach. So 111.90. Let's get that dialed in. All right. Our landing altitude today. Eight right elevation is at 606 feet. We have a 13,400 foot runway. The one on the left is just a foot longer. A foot long. So we're going to dial in 13400. Elevation, what did I say it was? 600 something? 606. Alright, got that done. Now, we gotta come up here for our landing altitude. Oh, 600. Way over. Picture outside. Did you know that this... Oh, Lord, Kev. Can we let that go from yesterday? Goodness gracious. You're gonna make Debbie come through the, yep. Make Debbie come through the stream and drop some pins in your lap. Today can be whatever you want it to be. How about that? If you want it to be the first day of summer, by all means, it is what it is. Kind of losing some oomph here. Getting to 360. Interesting. The cool thing was, when I was getting things set up the other day, well, if that's what you think, Kev, by all means, it's alright. This part right here is open. There's like these little doors are open here. Somehow. I was kind of checking out the wheel wells here. Let's go up in the wheel well and hang out up there, huh? Ooh, look at those tires. Isn't this just the coolest view? I was just kind of checking around the plane last night, just admiring some of the details. These little areas around the front here. The critical airflow sensor right there. There's the PIDOT and static instrument, our first auxiliary static. That's for the captain's side. And me and my no-nonsense co-pilot. Not very, she never smiles, she never laughs at my jokes. Very stoic. She's not very personable. There's a, let's see something that says, do not put your hand inside. It was somewhere back here. Something was open, and it says it's very clear. Like, don't put your hand in here, because you could. I guess something could snap shut suddenly, and you'd lose your hand, basically. See that? Oh, there it is, right here. Yep, danger. Oops. We almost went into the bathroom here. Do not place hand in opening. Yep, that part right there. TMDG will of course be at Flight Sim Expo this year. Looking forward to stopping by their booth. Apparently they've got stickers and pins to give away to anybody who stops by the booth. Going to get some free swag from them. And hee-haw, you donkey.
United 1702, contact Oakland Center on 125.75. Good day.
So we should
Going to
open up the,
125.75 United
We are
1702.
on our way to
Oakland Center United 1702 is passing flight level 340, climbing flight level 360.
United 1702
Jessica?
Oakland Center radar
Jessica?
contact continue.
Yep. So we are somewhere's in here. We're still in the jet stream pins. Still got a nice kind of a tailwind. We are officially on a flight track. We're almost at 36,000 feet for our cruising altitude. If you look out the window on either side, I couldn't tell you really what you're looking at. But yeah, I've got everything pretty much finalized. I just got to do laundry and pack. The rest of the weekend is going to be dedicated to that. So, should be, I think. I know we were over the Central Valley. We are near Body Mountain Wilderness. Bodie Wilderness area? Oh, we're near Mono Lake. Oh, that's to the right. There you go. We've been here before. We've been to Mono Lake. Oh, that, you know what that means? Yosemite's back here behind us. To the left. Or to the right, I mean. There's Yosemite Valley right up there. Yep, we did this flight. We flew around Yosemite in 2024. The flight sim 2024. We landed at Mono Lake, got out of the plane, and walked down to the edge of the lake. Actually, yeah, we're right near Yosemite. Imagine that. Kev is way to the south. I think he's trying to stop off in Las Vegas. Well, he's taking the direct route, which I think goes over Las Vegas. This is a real-world route that's flown by United Airlines out of San Francisco. I put this together for... We're doing a company route today, actually, for Parasox Airline. This was I think they have 80 different flights out of San Francisco, something like that, for Parasox Airlines that were all United Airline flights. So we're getting the double whammy on the company routes today, both Kev and I. We get about 2,000 socks in the drawer for our flight today. And this livery is the livery that was done when United bought Continental Airlines. The globe on the back on every United plane with the merger with Continental, that was the agreement that they will carry the Continental globe on the tail. So this is a livery that was done during the year of their merger. Cruise at about 0.78 Mach today, roughly. She from across the pond that do some thing backwards over there, like drive. Well, you know, my friends in the UK would say they drive on the correct side of the road. We're the ones that drive on the wrong side of the road. We should be in northern Nevada now. Somewhere in Nevada. Okay, there's Naval Air Station Fallon. Kev is over here somewheres. He'll be just north of Las Vegas. More that drive the way we do than the other way. I guess. I don't know. We should be in Nevada now. Let's just look up training range. Ooh, Nevada National Security Site. Oh, I wonder if that's what they're saying is this is where Area 51 is. Kev, you're breaking a lot of laws right now by flying through there. They'll scramble the fighter intercept for you momentarily. They'll escort you to Las Vegas. They'll have a talk with you, and then they might let you on your way. few low clouds around here today. Very nice, clear day though. All right, 37 nautical miles to here. Jessica in Vienna. Everything looks good down here. We got our ILS frequencies dialed in. .gov. Yep. They'll have a number for you to call later, Kev, to explain your actions, why you chose to fly over a restricted area, national security area. That proper authorization. And if they talk to me, I'm going to say, well, you know, Mr. Government official, I tried telling him just to file a regular flight plan, but he refused. He's stubborn like that. He thinks since he's a government employee, the rules don't apply to him. Alright, so we got everything pretty much set up now. Now we're just cruising right along. B is professional. I try to be. I try to do it right as much as I can, and I'm learning that there are some changes, some I think really immersive changes coming to these aircraft. I'm really curious to see what changes are coming that PMDG is going to be doing for the 737 and the rest of the planes that are coming out for them, from them over the next year or so. But it's all going to be kind of, you can use that sim with these changes, or you can use the Say Intentions, the AI air traffic control system. That's supposed to be better than the stuff that's in the sim right now. Although you got to pay for a subscription, unfortunately. That's the only drawback. But Say Intentions will be there. I'm curious, and I think actually the CEO of Say Intentions is going to be at Flight Sim Expo. So I'm curious to hear what they have to say about the future of their product and whatnot. So no, I'm trying to get better at a lot of this stuff. Ooh, Salt Lake Center. So just
133.45 United 1702.
But the only problem with that is that,
Salt Lake Center United
well, I wouldn't say the
1702
problem.
flight
The
level
drawback is
360.
that if you're streaming, a lot of that stuff kind of makes it harder to pay, like which one you pay more attention to, the stream chat or the what you're trying to do with the aircraft and talking to ATC and all that. Right, nice little right turn. Alright, another ad break coming through. My .gov allows me to fly over restricted airspaces only above 30,000 feet. Okay, Kev. And only if I have the galley switch on. Have you found the galley switch there in that A320, Kev? Where is it? Take a screenshot and send it to me. Or is it one of those that's in op in that plane? I think it is. I think it's in op. You can't even do anything with the galley switch. Of all the switches, I can understand some of the more like technical switches. See? At least my plane has one. I have to always remember it's right next to the battery switch. I wonder if the A320B2 has one. The second version. Well, Air Plus One is made by Boeing. Cabin power main front. Okay. Sorry, I'm munching on beef jerky. I have a little snack. I bought a 1 pound bag of Jack Link's beef jerky in preparation for a much longer flight, but I just have to have something to eat a little bit along the way with some protein in it, keep my energy up. Otherwise, I can't deal with Kev if I don't have enough energy. Yeah. Well, beef jerky in the military, when you go to the field, they have what they call pogie bait. I don't remember where the name started from, but it's basically stuff that you bring to the field, snacks. A lot of people bring like Pop-Tarts. Beef jerky is another one of them. Just, some candy bars, something that you can eat real quick that's got protein that'll give you some energy. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Everybody hang on, we're hitting some turbulence. Boy, that moved that plane. Wow. I did chat yesterday and I was chatting with Scott. I'm freaking worn out. Oh, it's a great snack to have. Yeah, it's like well, they call it jerked, but it's basically dried, but it's not like so dried out that you can't eat it. It's it was something I think that they many of the pioneers, people coming across America, they used to jerk meat because they could keep it longer and they'd salt it so it would it wouldn't spoil right away. So they would be able to use that. It was something sustainable for them to eat. But yeah, it's always been one of my go-to snacks. Yeah, back then it was salted to hell. Yeah, it was absolutely. But they were also sweating a lot, so I can only imagine the salt stains on their shirts and whatnot. But yeah, I found it's one of those easy snacks to have while I fly. I can get a decent sized bag at the grocery store. It's just, you don't have to cook anything. You don't have to or anything. I can just keep the bag right here next to me and then have some whenever I feel the need to have something to eat. I'll probably take the rest of it with me on the train trip. Just snack on that. But where the vampires from? Rome. We had when I was in Afghanistan, there were Romanian soldiers there, and in my 312 years, haven't seen any. We used to have to pick up when I was working night shift. We'd have to pick up like midnight chow from the dining facility, and sometimes the Romanian soldiers were there as well, and me and one of the other medics, we used to kid that we didn't understand what the female Romanian soldiers were saying, but it sure sounded good. Never had a chance to interact with them, though. Anybody from the Romanian military while we were there, unfortunately. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. Well, thank you for all coming in and hanging out today. Hopefully you've enjoyed things so far. Still got quite a ways to go. We aren't quite halfway through yet. Yeah. Hop in here and have a look. Ooh, yeah, look at it. We don't have a tailwind. We have a crosswind killer from behind us. On our way to Rihanna.
United 1702, contact Salt Lake Center on 127.925. Good day.
There's Las Vegas.
127.925, United 1702. Goodbye. Salt Lake Center, United 1702, flight level 360.
Why am I always find my way to Texas?
1702 Salt Lake Center, radar contact, continue.
Because deep down you love Texas? Uh-oh. Don't tell me that thing went wonky again. I think I better... Dang it. I should have checked that before. I should have checked that yesterday. Every so often I have to redo my... Didn't we do... Yeah, we went to Bush Intercontinental. I just figured it'd be best if we did another company route before I departed, so that way we have... We're getting some good mileage. I think it is, Debbie. I think it is. Alright, I gotta figure out. I gotta remember how to do this. Next part. Okay. While I take care of this real quick. Oh, it tried. It was trying. Things look kind for you. Now we know why Kev's not going to be streaming on Twitch or when they do the convoy later. What's our fuel looking like? Okay. Alright, let's see if it's working or not. It might have. Excuse me. Oops. Come on. No, that's interesting. Oh man, I give up. Yeah. Well, you know, it doesn't appear our ATC bot wants to work today. Must be a little bit of a glitch or something. Well, you know, I think it's a fun thing to do. How many wrecks are you gonna have? you know, this is it's a fun. I think it's just a great way for the audience to interact or kind of see if you can make it through without having a wreck. I don't care if I lose jelly beans or whatever. It's just for fun. But yeah, it's I don't know. I think sometimes we mean to have fun and then it just gets kind of people find a way to ruin it, unfortunately. I don't think that's their intention, but it just gets kind of, I'm an adult. Well, I like to think so. On average, I think I am. But I think people, invariably it gets ruined. It gets competitive or whatever for whatever reasons, and so no, I mean, but it's. I think your heart's in the right place. Like you just want to have something fun for the viewers to do while they're watching instead of just the same old stuff. I knew what you were. But it's because it's when you spend hours on a stream and you want some kind of audience interaction, otherwise the chat gets taken over by silliness, for lack of a better term, and then it just gets out of control. You want to be able to have some fun. It's just unfortunate that some people, like you said, some people take it to a level of oh, it's got to be, well, I don't know if it's a level of realism or whatever. I think that's a great thing about sending news. You can make it as, I guess, in a way, as realistic as you want it to be, right? Yeah, that unfortunately happens. And I think like I used to joke saying it was rigged. I didn't really mean it, but sometimes people can get say stuff that it's like, how can we rig it in any way, shape, or form?
Going to 125.575
But there will be people who are
United
going to be convinced
1702.
to the day they die that it was rigged.
Salt Lake Center United 1702 flight level 360.
There's no way you can that I know of, but some people just believe that. I mean, I like the idea of the landing rate because there's variables that you can't control. In the trucking, you can, for the most part, you can try to avoid wrecks. Sometimes, no matter what you do, you're going to get into a wreck. You try to avoid something, and then bang, you're off the road, and you're upside down or on the side, whatever. But in flying, on the other hand, like you were saying last night, you have the wind is a variable. There's all kinds of things. The type of plane you're flying is something. Well, you can control that part, but sometimes you have a good landing rate in one plane, and you go back to it the next time, and it's just terrible. So I like the idea. I did like the idea of the crash, prediction, because it, I think it made you a better driver, trying to avoid the crashes, you know. But it was also, I don't know how to explain it. I think sometimes it might have been taken out of context too, what your intentions were, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I think audience interaction is a good thing when done right, but invariably, I think over time, people get they get bent out of shape about it for some reason, and I think that's where the whole, like, it seemed, I don't know if it was like there was an aura of favoritism somehow, or something like that, and people decided that must be why certain people were always winning, not that they just happened to guess correctly, or it's just they were just lucky. I mean, there was times I had like a pretty good run with who was it? Captain Arash had a landing rate prediction thing. I think Scruffy had one. I think with Scruffy, I was on a roll there for a while with his predictions. Although I don't think it was like channel points. Well, going all the way Y and then hitting it. All the way and then hitting a fence at the very end seemed great. Yeah. I could see where somebody would think that they were, they were this close to winning, and you're like, I wrecked, nobody won anything. I could see that, but I mean, you'd have to be pretty terrible of a person with your audience interaction to go like, well, I'm just gonna screw everybody over. Thanks for playing, but you all lost because I did what I wanted to do. If it's one thing you're driving down the street and you swerve to avoid something and then bang, but there is that sense of what's the word? I look at someone's, yeah. Now I lost my train of thought. I think if that was the case, like if you purposely wrecked to make it that nobody won, right? Then I think the evidence would be very clear of that intention, right? Where you're driving and there's nothing anywhere that would have caused you to wreck, and then bang, you just take a hard left right into a fence or a building or a bunch of cars or whatever, But I think then if that was the case, many people would not be returning to your channel, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If the evidence was clear that was the case, people would just kind of go like, okay, this isn't fun anymore. I'm just, I'm gonna take a break from this channel. So it's one of those kind of I don't know what I'm trying to say. if the evidence was very clear about some kind of a rigged situation or something like that, I don't think there's any evidence to suggest that though. But some people, they get it in their mind, you know, that this has to be the way it is. You know, I'm certain I'm seeing this, and this is the outcome. Well, yeah, the no frills thing, it works, but at the same time, it I guess in a way it's a darned if you do, darned if you don't situation, right? There's no winning here. You try to have some audience interaction, do something fun, and then people ruin it. You have no interaction, and people are going to kind of go like, okay, well, this is kind of boring. Well, it's like that old saying, this is why we can't have nice things. You know? It's like letting your 2-year-old into a fancy store full of china, and then, you know, they just run through and destroy everything, and then you're just like, okay, I got this bill, you know, that's why we can't have nice things. So I just, it's unfortunate that it comes to that. You know, like for quite a long time, I tried to do streams, you know, like somebody'd say, hey, can you do this route? So I'd make the time and do it. They wouldn't come back, right? They wouldn't, or they would come back like a week or two later and go like, yeah, I flew it like last week. Oh, I missed it. Can you do it again? No, I already done it. You can watch the video. Well, I wanted to see it live. Well, I told you when I was going to be flying. You know, I gave you the schedule. I told you when I would be able to do it. So after a while, I'm like, nope, not anymore. On a rare occasion, I'll do it. If it's somebody that I've known for quite some time, it's like a birthday thing or something like that, then I'll do it. But otherwise, no. Because people ruined it. Unfortunately. So no, you can't. And I've learned over the years that trying to please everybody is going to drive you absolutely up the wall. People will never be happy with what you do. You're always going to find something to complain about. And it just, it takes the joy out of it.
Goodbye.
It really does.
Salt Lake Center, United 1702, flight level 360.
United 1702 Salt Lake Center, radar contact, continue.
A little turn here. So no, I've given up on trying to make everybody happy. I'm just said, well, I'm going to do what I want to do. If people want to come in and watch, they're more than welcome to. If they don't, that's okay. I can't force anybody to be here. You know, everybody has a life outside of watching people do, you know, watching people stream or whatever. Now, some people bounce between multiple streams, and they're, you know, checking out all kinds of stuff. You know, it's just, I just try to make it interesting. I try to make it educational in a way. I try to have some fun with it. You know, I know this isn't the most exciting thing. We're just flying along at flight level 360, and we got some kind of mountainous, deserty kind of scenery or whatever. And it's not the most interesting scenery, but could be worse. We could be over water the whole way, which is what would have been happening if we were doing the flight to Heathrow. Yeah. It's just mean, it's one thing. I'm open to, like, if somebody says, "Hey, did you think about this?" Like, if it's like it's presented as a suggestion or a, I've run into this problem before, or I found a better way to do X, Y, and Z. Here's what I do. You're more than welcome to utilize it. If not, it's okay. Oops. All right. That did not mean we ran out of fuel, folks. We got plenty of fuel left to go. This is the center tanks are dry. We got no, I get it. It's one of those things that, like, that's why I say that cab utility. I think that's like the galley switch. It's automatically on. It's not like in the Avro RJ where I have to flip the galley switch. And, in doing so, it's okay. We know it's on. But this is automatically on. And I have to remember, it's right next to this battery guard. Bang, right there. And it's always on. So. But I also know that some people, now we can go ahead and begin in-flight service. I know we are not too far from her. Well, we still got quite a bit of ways to go, so that's okay.
United 1702, contact Denver Center, 127.55.
It's just one of those things.
127.55.
Part of it for me
United
is
1702. Goodbye.
Some people, and I'm not
Denver
saying
Center,
this about
United
you, Kev.
1702, flight level
Some people
360.
ask questions that become very distracting, especially when I'm trying to get the plane set up. Because if I do things out of order, or I forget something, then it's like it throws off everything. And if I forget, it just, sometimes it may impact the flight in a very bad way. So it's kind of like, early on when I would be flying, I'm trying to look at the chat and I'm trying to come in for a landing. And people are asking me questions or making comments, and I'm just, after a while, I had to make basically a rule that said, when we start to go on to final approach, I would intentionally turn my laptop away so I could not see anybody posting in the chat. Because if I see it out the corner of my left eye, because that's where my laptop is to my left, I would get distracted. And then I would screw up my landing. So I just would say, I'm going to turn the laptop, and so that way I don't get distracted. I'll catch up with the chat when I'm on the ground. That way, because otherwise people would just, it was almost like they were doing it intentionally, that they would try to distract me from while I'm landing. And that's one of the reasons, I kind of like the little, oh, thank you. Your little, what do you call it? The sound stuff. Like the scream and stuff like that. I know what you meant, Kev. It's all right. But stuff like that, I would have to find a way to deactivate it while I'm landing, because then if I hear that, it would just throw me off completely. Especially like the loud bang, the gunshot, whatever. That would just, I can't handle that. Like I know when people, if I'm watching your stream and people put it up, like if it's something like I'm not flying, when we're flying together, where I have to mute your stream, because I'm in your Discord and we're talking. Because if I have that going on in the background, it would just echo through the microphone. So, but if I'm watching that, I immediately mute your stream until it's played. And then I'm like, okay, now I can go back, you know. So, I like to have fun sounds and stuff like that, but I also know that some people would abuse it. So I'm kind of like leery of having stuff like that. I think the Titanic flute thing is freaking hilarious, you know, because it's such a sad sounding flute play. I didn't get a thing saying join. Let me look. See if you're on the list. Yep, there you are. All right. So for those of you who, well, now that you're in there, you'll find out here. I'll just go ahead and tell you. So when I go up to Providence, I'm going to take pictures. I'm going to post some of them in the Discord under the random pictures section. There are pictures from previous trips that I've taken. The first 2 times I took a train out to California. Well, one was all the way to Sacramento. Second one has going to Reno. So there's some pictures in there from that if you want to check those out, Kev. There's also pics from the daily flights. Any flights that I do, whether it's on Saturdays or throughout the week, if it's just I jump in and do one of the short flights. That's I post those plus the landing rates. There's links for anything, some stuff aviation related, some stuff motorsports related, nothing political. Just steer clear of that. It's not a very chatty sort of Discord. You can comment on the pictures, of course, as long as the comments are not disrespectful in any way. Those get removed. But yeah, it was mainly a way to kind of keep people, you know, up to date on what I was doing. You know, I also posted in there in the announcement section, kind of like what you did earlier. If I have to cancel the stream, it'll be in the announcement section. If there's changes to the stream in any way, that goes in the announcement section. But yeah, it's not a very chatty Discord by any stretch. It's probably as no frills as you get when it comes to Discords. Whereas Two Tone, it's like I can't keep up with. There's so much posting going on in his Discord. Sometimes it's a bit overwhelming. So no, it's nothing like that. Over a canyon of some kind. Look at that. We are here. Round Gulch Instant Study Area Complex. Huh. Under the Road Canyon Wilderness Study Area. Fish Creek Canyon Wilderness Study Area. Huh. Oh, we were near the Glen Canyon National Recreation Area. The Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument is back there. Interesting. right about here. We're still kind of in those areas where during the startup of the aircraft as well as the landing sequences, I'll be ignoring the chat while I get. Please keep that in mind when posting. Yes, that's it. That's exactly it. But I try to be, I try to welcome people in when I see them come in. But it can be very, I can get easily distracted from all that. I hear screaming, add gunshots. Yeah. Yeah, see, you're trying to, kind of like you're trying to get your truck going, and you're trying to find a job to get started on, and people are doing what they do, being a bit silly. Which I can understand. It's supposed to be fun, but it's also, it can be a bit overwhelming with trying to get things done. Like, it wasn't so bad when I was flying the stock A320, right? It's not nearly as in-depth as this. And, or even like when I was flying the DC-6, there's stuff that you got to do, kind of, not necessarily, more so, like I use the automated flight engineer to start up the plane because I couldn't do it all by myself. I couldn't do it all. We'd be on the ground forever trying to get the plane started up. So thank goodness for the automated flight engineer getting the plane started up, right? But there'd be times taking off in that DC-6. It's a very particular, when you take off, how you handle it as you climb, because if you put too much, if you nose up too much, you're going to stall the plane very easily. So, that can always be a bit tricky. But, doing all the stuff in the 737, I find it very rewarding, right? It's a neat thing to do, I think. It's not everybody's cup of tea, I get that. But I try to, I like the structure of it. Doing the stuff and making sure the flight plan's set up correctly. It was interesting that initially, when I was putting the flight plan together, it said, when I was in the sim, I picked my departure gate. It showed 28 right as a departure runway. And of course, what happens when we get ready to get clearance for our flight plan? No. Hello, Joseph. My goodness. How are you? Long time no see. I said hi to you yesterday in Pulsa Stream, and I guess you just buggered off as usual. Joseph Adams, everybody. How are you? What's new? Doing all right? Let's see how quickly we get a response. He may have buggered off already. It's all right. What was I gonna say? So yeah, I like to do the structure of doing all this stuff. Now, I know deep down I'm not doing things correctly. I'm not following exactly a checklist. Right. And I think one of the things that I would like to do going forward, this not tomorrow or anything like that, I'm just saying for like in the future, I like to do the checklist stuff, because part of it is I think there's a bit of an immersion to that, right? I'm good. My phone went dead yesterday. Yeah, Pulse was saying that. It's been brutal. It's been hot and humid here. We've had thunderstorms and whatnot. So I can put names.
United 1702 Denver Center radar contact.
I thought maybe you were at the pub or something. Who knows? I never know with you, Joseph. But it's good to see you. Good to see you. So yeah, I would like to do. I think there's a way to do a checklist in here. I think I could be wrong. I thought there was like a. No, that's. Nope, maybe not. I thought there was a check. Guess not. I wonder if it's under flight selections. No. I'm surprised. I thought there was a checklist. Guess not. I know there's I have one printed out, but I like to have one that's kind of like and I think that's something they're gonna do when they do an update to these aircraft. You'll have a clickable checklist sort of thing that you do certain things in order. I just think it adds more to the immersion. But again, it's one of those things that it's not everybody wants you to, like when you're streaming, you just want to get things going and get in the air and get the flight done. That's the tricky part. But anyways, so we are, let's see. This is zoomed out over here to max of 640 nautical mile. So that one's halfway, so 320 is right there. So that is where our top of descent is, right here. You can kind of see that little green marker thingy right there. Right where I think you can see the, well, maybe not. Let me try it with the mouse cursor. Right here is our top of descent. Oh, no, matter of fact, maybe you can. Oh, yeah, you can. Anyway, so there's our top of descent. So we just passed Tahib. We're on our way to Dixon. And then we have Nurmi. Is it Nurmi? Yeah. Nurmi, it looks like. No, Murmi. And then P&H, and then Mdano. So between Mdano and here, just after we pass Mdano, we should start our descent into Dallas-Fort Worth. I don't think, let's see, it's 10:43, Kev. In your neck of the woods, I don't think you're going to make it before your time. That's like 45 minutes away or less from now. So you may not make it all the way to Dallas, Fort Worth. tell. Okay, I'm gonna look the other way. You do what you gotta do. Now, interestingly enough, I haven't tried this yet, but apparently one of the updates that they did with their EFB from PMDG that comes with these aircraft is there's a sim rate you can accelerate things. Now, I don't think you can do it in the air, but there's a way that you can yeah, I think on the ground, basically. So if you want to do like a really long flight, you can change the sim rate up to like 2 times speed, and you'll get there much quicker. But I don't think you can do it once you're in the air. Well, let's get our landing stuff set up. 18 right. Okay. But I've not tinkered with actually flaps 40. What's the speed for flaps 40? See, I always look at this and I just go with flaps 30. It should be 40, which is what we want the full thingy, right? So 147 should be our landing speed. Flying approach. See, they have it as elevation is 610. I think that's the airport elevation, right? Let's look at the charts. Nope, 606. So we're coming in right at the airport elevation. The only drawback is, I just look at this, we have a bit of a downhill. No, actually, no, we're uphill. 36 left. The opposite end is at 480. No, it is downhill. Never mind. I was wrong. Yeah, it's going to be a bit downhill. So our landing rate is going to be a bit. Okay, I'm going to get ready to go now then. So, all right. Take care, Kev. Thanks for flying along as much as you did. Appreciate it. Sorry you got to go. I will catch you. Thank you for the 30 bits. Appreciate it. Wait, you said, but we'll stay, but I will be. No, I will stay, but we'll be right back. Okay. Okay. Alright, so we have on our way to Dixon, then the Mermy, PNH, which is the VOR DME, I believe. Let's see if we can find PNH. Right here. We'll be flying. Oh, Husband Amarillo International. We'll be flying Amarillo by morning. Up from somewhere. So there it is. That's a Vortac. I think Amarillo, Husband Amarillo International that may have been Rick Husband Amarillo International Airport may have been a military base back in the day. That's why you have a VORTAC there. Or maybe they have a Air National Guard unit or Air Force Reserve unit. Ooh, Bell Textron Incorporated right there. And maybe they're doing stuff for military planes, military helicopters. All right, so yeah, we're almost within shouting distance, I guess, kind of Dallas Fort Worth. Let's see if we pull up the so we're basically, it looks like we're kind of out of the area here where the turbulence has been reported. There's the jet stream. Look at that. Ooh, look at that mess. Ooh, even stronger weight. Very heavy winds. South America. Look at that. So it looks like we're out of the area where we would have hit a lot of turbulence. Let's see. We can go ahead and pull this up because eventually we're going to see our little plane doohickey. Once we reach this point, we can kind of follow our arrival portion of our flight on the way in. Going to the Fort Worth stockyards to see the Longhorns. Well, I'm not sure how I'd be welcome back in Alabama if I went and saw the Longhorns. Well, no, that's more Texas A&M than Longhorns, but oddly enough, the vet that we go to for the dogs, he got his degree at Auburn University, which supposedly has one of the best veterinary schools in the country. His son's becoming a vet, but he opted to go to Texas A&M instead of studying at Auburn, which I gather his dad was not entirely thrilled with. That he chose Texas A&M over Auburn University. I hear Texas A&M is supposed to have a really good veterinary program as well. Yeah, I don't. When I go to this place, really nice facility. Called Lakeshore Foundation. It's the home of the Paraplegic Olympic. They have like 4 different or 8 different sports for Paralympic athletes that they oversee. And the gal working behind the counter, she had a Notre Dame shirt on, or a sweater, I think it was. But anyway, I said I went to see them play at Stanford University a long time ago. They were Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish were in town for playing the Stanford Cardinals, and I said I might have been one of the only few people in the stands that had a Notre Dame hat on. I've always wanted to go visit that school. Just one time, just say I've been to Notre Dame.
Good day.
I'd like to go see a game, a football game at
128
Notre
decimal
Dame.
375 United 1702. Goodbye.
But
Denver Center
and
United
actually,
1702
Coach
flight level
Holtz
360.
came and spoke.
United 1702 Denver Center.
They did like a USO thing when I was in Afghanistan. He came and gave a very motivational speech and all that.
Going to 132 decimal 8
It was a really
United
neat experience.
1702.
I wish I could have gotten a picture with him.
Albuquerque Center United 1702 flight level 360.
United 1702 Albuquerque Center radar contact. Continue.
So after we get done with this, well, we'll get, let's see, 2 hours or so. I think it's gonna be, well, it's much less than that for the flight so far. We've done pretty well time wise. I did start a few minutes early, get things going, get the aircraft set up and all that, so we could skedaddle out of San Francisco. Although I'm very happy with that takeoff. That was quite good. Really enjoyed that. Nice weather, nice sunrise stuff. So that was good. We can look at the weather in Dallas at the airport right now. Okay. 28 degrees, 22 knots, temperature 3000. Wind, 18027. Perfect. Ooh boy, we're coming in. We gotta have a nice strong headwind coming in. We may only want 30-degree flaps. If we go full flap, we may. Okay. So we're going to zoom out a little bit. Jelly Belly. Stayed cash. Okay. Well, let's see. Top percent was after P and H. No, after M Dano. We're still pretty far out on the chart. We have 106, 109, 117, and then we have 111 nautical miles to go to get the victory. We have Z-Man, P-Hop, Ickle, Johan, Allegra, and Eddie. And we'll be home. We'll be in, well, not home, we'll be in Dallas. Ooh, look at this. quite a mountainous area. Now, let's have a look here. We are near the Santa Fe National Forest and the Carson National Forest. So we're on our way to Amarillo. Then we'll kind of zigzag our way into Dallas, coming in on this runway right here. We did take, we took off from Dallas Love, which is, yeah, that's when we took off and went to Washington, D.C. Debbie's a proud Texas girl. Nothing wrong with that. Try to keep an eye on Kevin there. I've already got my got my I've got just got an email from Flight Sim Expo about the group tour for the tower. No weapons, cameras, bags, or backpacks are permitted on the tour. Other items that can be carried on your person are permitted: wallet, keys, phone, ID, etc., but nothing else. Items cannot be left on the bus. Phone must be completely turned off while inside the facility. Cell phone photos are allowed outside the building, but no photos inside the facility. You get to go through the simulator, the simulator lab, the tower, and the Tracon. Tour lasts about 75 minutes. We'll return back to the. So I got to be downstairs. I got to be at the convention center at 7:40 in the morning. Ooh, this could be an early morning on Friday. To get my attendee badge and registration done. And then go to the street level to meet the tour volunteers at add-on check-ins and depart promptly at 8 o'clock. Yeah, let's see, what else do I have? Saturday, the walk, kind of the guided tour around the exhibit hall, yay. And then Friday evening is the banquet for FSA captains. Casual attire is appropriate. Feel free to wear your captain polo if you have one. Hope you get one there. Casual attire. Well, I better go get rent a tuxedo then. That's the new standard for casual, don't you know? I like to be overdressed for occasions. I think that's why honestly, I used to wear a shirt and tie when I was going to the community college, right? And none of my instructors ever, but people thought I was an instructor by the way I dressed, right? And I think it kind of like embarrassed my department chair a little bit that I was always kind of spiffy, you know, looking dressed nice. Because the way I look at it, you know, you have to kind of set yourself apart from all the other students. If you take your time there seriously and you dress appropriately, you show up like you're ready to do the work, right? You're ready to go through class, whatever. People treat you differently. They really do. But if you show up wearing sweatpants or looking like you just, you know, wearing your pajamas right out of bed, well, people aren't going to take you very seriously, you know. So I thought about it at first, and I thought, you know, let me just try something different and see what happens. And lo and behold, boy, I tell you, it was like a completely different world. You start showing up in a shirt and tie and a sports coat, nice shoes and everything. It's like a different experience. So, no, I will be dressed appropriately Friday. I'm not gonna go rent a tuxedo for the FSA captain's dinner. But no, I'll have a collared shirt, nice pants, nice shoes. Try not to pick my nose at the dinner table. Thursday is the day I'm kind of going to go around town, so that's why I'm glad I'm getting there ahead of everybody. Because then I'm going to go Thursday. I'm going to go to the Rhode Island School of Design, their museum, and then the state capitol is right up the street from the hotel as well. So I'm going to go check that out and see some of that, possibly. I may take a picture of myself picking my nose inside the Rhode Island State Capitol. Who knows? Maybe if I just do it just right, I'll get a bloody nose too and cause a scene. No, I don't want to end up on the evening news. Get escorted out of Rhode Island. We're gonna take you back to the train station. We're gonna put you on the next train out of here. No, I wouldn't do that. So yeah, that's awesome. I was kind of wondering. I had a feeling that, you know, phones are not going to be. You're not going to be able to have them on. You know, kind of like you have to put it in. Now, I wonder if you could put it like in airline mode, you know, kind of thing. Because but I guess it's just better to shut it all the way off and then turn it back on once you depart the facility. I don't have a passport, but I do have my VA, my ID card. My not necessarily military ID card, but my I think that should suffice as a backup sort of thing. I think my Alabama driver's license is one of the ones that you have to show for that you're a U.S. citizen for if you get on flights, domestic flights or whatever. But I'll have plenty of ID with me to. I'll just say, I know Debbie down in Houston, does that count? And they'll be like, no, they don't know who that is. say, what about Joseph Adams over in the UK? Nope, don't know him either. Sorry. Well, I think this would be a good opportunity. Let's see where we're at. Okay. Well, we're doing pretty good on time, it seems like. I see the top of the descent marker on the screen over here. Look at the one down here. So we have 109 and 117. So we should start descending. They will run you out. Yep.
United 1702, contact
So,
Albuquerque Center
New
on
Mexico.
126.85. Good day.
Been through Albuquerque. It's a really neat place. I've driven through there.
Goodbye. Albuquerque Center United 1702 flight level 360.
United
This is
1702, Albuquerque Center radar
310.
contact. Continue.
Yeah. So that should be like 240. I think something like that. All right, I think I'm going to take this moment in time and to take a little break. I'll leave you outside. I'll be back here in a few minutes, and we should be getting ready to land. Not quite land, but we'll be preparing for our descent pretty soon. Okay, I'm back. I was just thinking about how ages ago, the longest flight I've done in Flight Sim, thank God the sim didn't crash, was from San Francisco to Tokyo in the 747. That was 11 hours. So the stream was probably closer to 12. Ooh, that was a long one. Yeah, I had to take several breaks on that one. I had to kind of get up and move around, otherwise my legs would have fallen asleep. I think I ordered DoorDash a couple times. We ordered a pizza just to have something to eat, 'cause, yeah, that was a long flight. The previous one to that, I did JFK to Frankfurt in the 747. I wasn't really prepared for that one. Like, I was wiped out by the time we were getting ready to come into Frankfurt. I was a mess. I was just worn out. Got on the ground, and I think as soon as I wrapped the stream up, I think I took a nap. I didn't have like snacks prepared. I didn't plan it very well. So that was quite a long flight. I'd like to do another long distance, but I think I'm going to wait till after I get back. I do want to do the trip JFK to Heathrow. Okay, I have to land somewhere or I'm not going to make it to Texas. Let's see. You might be able to make it to... let's see. You might be able to make it to Lubbock, Preston, Smith International. KLBD. I think you're close enough to that one, Kev, that you might be able to go there. They have a nice long runway. Same one, you could go 17 right. That's a nice 11,000 foot runway. KPVW. Let me look at that. Let's have a look at that. No, that's not going to work. That's a small airport. I would turn south and go to Lubbock, and land there. Because you got a nice long runway that can handle an A320. That one is quite a small airport there. But you do what you got to do. I would go for KLBB. Preston. You might run out of runway on KPVW. Let's have a look here for ourselves. 64 nautical miles to go to P&H. We're almost over Rick Husband. I'm thinking that's where Les Jetson is the might be an Amarillo there. area. Alright, there goes Kennedy's descending like a madman. Figure out what happened with the flow thing with the ATC bot's not wanting to work. Let's see. It just might be. I see. Yeah, I would go there. But I think at least that gives you time to descend to get ready to land. Yeah, I wonder if it was just a hiccup on their end. That's alright. Don't forget your brakes, Kev. I know it's 11,000 foot runway, but make sure your brakes are set. Look to see what our alternate airport was if we had to go. That's one thing I'd like to try one of these. Oh, we'd have to go Oklahoma City. I would think that if we have to go, if we had to go there instead of going to Dallas Fort Worth, we would automatically just go ahead and deviate instead of going all the way there. Because I don't think we'd have enough fuel to get all the way up to Oklahoma City. Because KCVS is going to have to do CKCVS. What's that? Oh, you're okay. That yeah, Cannon Air Force Base. Yeah, that's got a nice long runway. I try to come in on 2-2. That's got a 10,000 foot runway. That should be plenty of space for you. Just make sure to tell them you're you're a government employee, Kev. Otherwise, they may arrest you on sight. been through Amarillo actually as well. I think a couple times. I feel like I've been like Texas is kind of like California. I feel like I've been almost all over the state of Texas, even though as big as it is. I do quite like San Antonio though. Right, there is the airport there. Amarillo Airport. Well, I'm sorry you couldn't make it all the way to Dallas Fort Worth, but you made it to Texas, I guess. One way or the other, much to your dismay, possibly. Man after my heart. Oh, I love San Antonio. Was fantastic. I miss San Antonio. I really enjoyed I mean, I wasn't there. Well, let's see, 4 months for medic school. I think I did another couple months when I went there for a leadership school. I love San Antonio though. It was quite a nice place to be around. Alright, there's P&H. Crossing over. Panhandle. Alright. We're almost there, folks. Getting ready to descend here pretty soon. Let the cabin crew know to finish up in-flight service. Yes. Oh, well, I never see it at Christmas time, but I do agree the Riverwalk is. I think it's a great place to hang out. All right, let's zoom out one more time. We don't get distracted by all the other stuff that's coming up. Ooh, boy, getting a bit of turbulence here. There's Kev landing. Should be just about ready to land there at Air Force Base. Well, you could have tried to come all the way over here to Amarillo there, Kev. Maybe if you were really nice, George Strait would have met you there in the morning. He came up from San Antonio. Yeah, I asked him that. He didn't respond, so, well. That's 2 reminders. If it's not set by now, it's on him. This is good stuff. I got one of these. I got a couple of these big cans of Arizona green tea. They're normally 99 cents, but at Walmart they're 88 cents. I don't know why they're cheap at Walmart, but they are. So no stream next Saturday. I will be in. This time next week, I will be in Providence, knee deep in flight simming shenanigans. Yeah, I don't know why, but they sell it 11 cents cheaper at Walmart. It's good stuff. Quite enjoy it. The green tea with ginseng and honey. Good stuff. Oh, Kev is no longer on site. Kev, what was your landing rate? Don't make me look it up, because you know I will. Kev, let's see. Nope, it hasn't shown up yet. What happened, Kev? Did you make it? Oh, come on, really? We already have the best viewers. We know Kev was over there somewhere to the right and behind us somewhat. Where did Kev go? What happened to Kev? Let's see if his flight finally showed up. He got a 637. Oh, lordy. Kev. Kev. Wow. Now I gotta beat that. Pretty sure if I land like that, you're going to hear the passengers scream. If they don't clap, then it's not too bad, but if they clap, I know I did pretty well. We're going to shoot for a firm landing, but we can do better than that. I'm not expecting the grease to land, but we'll see. Well, an ambulance and a vet. I landed on someone's farm. Oh, Kev. Don't tell me you shot for the shorter of the two runways. Told you they had a nice, long, like 10,000 foot runway at that Air Force base. Go for the burning hay. Well, sorry you couldn't make it all the way to Dallas, but I understand you got some other stuff to do today. I had no brakes. See? Both Debbie and I both tried to remind you to set your brakes. You didn't listen, did you? Tell the wife you need a frying pan upside the head. Okay, catch you later, Kev. Enjoy your convoying tonight with the guys and whoever else joins you. Hopefully it's not too bad of a time. I'll be in touch with you about Sunday. We'll figure something out for Sunday. Squeeze in one more flight together. There he goes, folks. Kev Sim Corner. I was on the ground. I should be in. Yep. There you go. Toodaloo, Scooby-Doo. Alright, let's see. How much closer are we? We're getting there. 44 nautical miles to go to Dano. We got quite a bit of crosswind here coming from our right. A bit gusty. That's definitely moving the plane. All right, we should get the call to start descending here pretty soon. If not, let's talk about it. Let's formulate a plan, shall we? Yeah, let's do that. I think that's a grand idea. Glad I thought of that. All right, so what do we know coming up here? We know once we pass M Dano, we have roughly 111. We'll round it up. 112 nautical miles to go to Victory, right? We have to be at about 10 to 11,000 feet as we pass Victory. So, if we get to M Dano and we pass that, a short time later, there's our top of descent right there, that little marker, that little doohickey. We will go ahead and start requesting altitude reductions on our own. Okay. So we have a plan kind of in place, so we know what we're going to do if on the off chance we don't get told that we need to start descending at around about this point. It may tell us right after M Dano. It might tell us just as we get closer, or somewhere in between here and here. So we're basically in a few seconds, well, a few minutes, whatever, we're going to cross the top of the descent. Will be 40 nautical miles out from the top of the descent. So at any time now they could start telling us to descend, and then we're going to have to start managing our speed, stuff like that. And then before you know it, we'll be lining up for our approach into Dallas Fort Worth. Well, this crosswind is a doozy. So I guess you're the only one left, Debbie. It's just you and I in the chat now. I think Joseph disappeared again. It's just me and the gal from Texas, I suppose. Well, that's all right. So we have a plan in place if something doesn't go according to plan. That's always a good thing to have. I don't know what the matter of fact. Let's get an update on the weather from Dallas Fort Worth. Looks like there was scattered clouds at 3,300 feet, I think. Broken clouds. Scattered at 2,800, broken at 3,300. .8027. The wind hasn't changed. Altimeter hasn't changed. Doesn't seem like anything's really changed since we last checked. Ooh. Winds 180, 18 gusting to 27. Okay. 28 degrees Celsius, 22 degrees is the dew point. So it looks like we got some low clouds at Dallas. Fort Worth. So now the best part's getting ready to come up here shortly. We will start our descent pretty soon. What's that, Debbie? What's the hum for? What? Would you care to elaborate? Usually when I get comments like that, I ask for somebody to elaborate. Cloudy. Yeah, that's what it's saying. Scattered clouds at 2,800 feet. Broken clouds at 3,300 feet. Yeah, it's going to be a bit cloudy coming into Dallas. That's what I'm expecting. According to the weather report, that's what it's saying is happening in Dallas right now. So that crosswind is really rocking this plane today. Border Charlie. See, 9:30 something. All right. Go ahead and have the cabin crew finish up cleaning up the cabin and have them take seats for their safety. The remainder of the flight. Okay, so we just passed Dano. So we're on our way to victory. Top of descent's coming into view, so let's see what happens. A friend of mine, Kim, lives near there in Plano, Texas. I've heard of Plano, Texas. Okay. So it's saying. Yeah. Okay. So we are going to have to go ahead and ask for. I'm going to start our reductions in altitude. Oh. Uh-oh.
United 1702, contact Albuquerque Center
Something
on
happens.
127.85. Good day.
Oh boy.
127.85 United 1702. Goodbye.
Uh-oh, we have a hiccup.
Fort Worth Center United 1702 flight level 360.
United 1702, Fort Worth Center,
now we
radar
might get
contact, continue.
get told here to. Nope. All right. We're gonna start doing our own.
Fort Worth Center United 1702. Request flight level 260.
United 1702, descend and maintain flight level 270. Expect flight level 260.
Descend and maintain flight level 270. Expect flight level 260 United 1702.
All right, here we go.
United 1702, contact Fort Worth Center on 133.5. Good day.
133.5 United 1702. Goodbye. Fort Worth Center United 1702 is at flight level 345, descending flight level 270.
United 1702, Fort Worth Center, radar contact, continue. United 1702, descend and maintain flight level 190.
Descend and maintain flight level 190 United 1702.
Okay. All right, so it's taking over. Okay, now we don't have to worry about that. All right, let's go ahead and zoom out again. Nope, somebody came back to watch, I guess. Hello, lurker. Couple lurkers now. Identify yourself. Oh, we could look at the chart. There we go. We're going straight for victory. We're not passing through Belfort Hall and all that stuff. But that's where we are, right there. I don't bite. I can't say. Why this descent is taking there we go. We need to drop some altitude. Oh yeah, I know. That's all right. If they want to, they will. Some people get, I don't know why, but some people prefer to be anonymous, I guess, in a stream chat for some reason. That's okay. Got that set. Got all that set. Look at our approach again just to make sure we have everything where it needs to be. Charts. I'm shy sometimes. No. Not you, Debbie. No. Okay. So we got 111.9, 2400. Okay. All right. We'll just leave that right there. There we go. We're going all the way for 5.
Feet. Expect ILS runway 18 right approach via Ickle transition. Clear to Ickle. United 1702 descend and maintain 4,000 feet.
Anything else?
Descend and maintain 4,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 18 right approach via Ickle transition. Cleared to Ickle United 1702.
Those landing lights. They're on a little bit early, but that's okay. Alright, I think I'm going to take a step away for just one more minute. I'll be right back and we'll finish things up here.
United 1702, contact Fort Worth Center on 133.25. Good day.
133.25 United 1702. Goodbye. Fort Worth Center United 1702 is at flight level 225, descending 4,000 feet.
United 1702 Fort Worth Center radar contact. Continue to Ickle.
to Dallas. Hit the restroom one more time, and then I'm going to go to I'm going to get some more water. Oh boy, we're going fast. Going way faster than we should. It's because I'm on a pretty steep descent rate. Not cross victory yet. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and... Oops. It don't look like it's cloudy. I've got live weather on, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Okay. So we have ads starting, or ads might have finished. Yeah, it's finished about 10, well, 9 minutes ago. All right. Get some flaps down. Alright, and there we are at victory.
United 1702 contact Fort Worth Center on 127.0.
Well, it doesn't look very cloudy
Good
here.
day.
Going to 127.0 United 1702. Fort Worth Center United 1702 is passing 12,400 feet, descending 4,000 feet.
United 1702 Fort Worth Center altimeter tree 0.00 radar contact. Continue to Vickle.
It's still a bit of a... Alright, let's have a look here.
United 1702, contact Fort Worth Center on 134.15. Good day.
134.15 United 1702. Goodbye. Fort Worth Center United 1702 is at 10,300 feet, descending 4,000 feet.
Uh-oh. Ah, come on, Sim. Oh, don't you do this to me now.
United 1702, Fort Worth Center, altimeter 30.01 radar contact. Continue to Ickle.
I can go with the 30-degree flap instead.
United 1702, contact approach on 118.1. Good day.
Going to 118.1 United 1702. Approach United 1702 is at 9,200 feet, descending 4,000 feet.
United 1702, approach altimeter 30.01 radar contact. Continue to Ickle.
All right. Let's slow down a little bit more. Drop altitude a little bit quicker. All right. Switch to the chart for the approach. Drop a little bit more altitude. Matter of fact, we're going to go ahead and do it. We are set for that.
United 1702, you are 600 feet below your assigned altitude.
We're just fine.
Climb and maintain 4,000 feet altimeter, tree 0.01.
Climb and maintain 4,000 feet United 1702.
$2,500.
All right.
United 1702, please expedite your climb 4,000 feet.
Okay. What's that?
United 1702, climb and maintain 3,000 feet.
What's the O for?
Climb and maintain 3,000
Would you care to
feet United
elaborate?
1702.
All right, here we go, folks. We're getting. Oh, it happens. It happens. That's okay. I've just learned to ignore them. They're like the nagging significant other, you know. They don't like when you make decisions on your own based on what you know you need to be at for your landing. That's one of the biggest complaints about flight simming in general is that the ATC is not like the smartest. Kev will back me up on that. There'll be times him and I flown together and it'll tell me to climb back to like 19,000 feet and I'm getting ready to land. It's like, why am I going to go to 19,000 feet? I'm trying to put this thing on the ground.
United 1702, you are 11 miles north of DFW. Contact DFW Tower on 127.5 when inbound on the approach.
Tower on 127.5 United 1702. DFW Tower United 1702 10 miles north inbound ILS runway 18 right approach.
United 1702 DFW Tower. Altimeter 29.9er, wind 187 at 20.
Alright.
Cleared ILS runway 18 right approach.
Cleared ILS runway 18 right approach United 1702.
Here we go. Oh, let's go ahead and snooze the ads. So after we land, alright, we should cross the final marker, final waypoint, fix, whatever it is. We should be descending here the rest of the way in. Here we go. What's that little, looking at this right here, there's a little pink diamond. Once it hits in the middle, light slope will be captured and we'll be on our way down. Here we go. Da-da-da! Look at that. Ooh, that wind is going to be a doozy.
United 1702, wind 187 at 20. Cleared to land runway 18 right.
What is?
Cleared to land runway 18 right United 1702.
We're getting pushed all over the place, it seems.
Traffic. Traffic.
I don't care. We're landing. Well, that wind is a doozy today. Phew, look at that. It's like we're all over the place. What a jerk. Back. Okay, maybe now we finally got it. Can we get back online? Can we line back up? There we go. Can we just hold her right there? Alright, here we go.
400. 300.
Boy. This is going to be a doozy.
200. 100.
Sync rate. Sync rate.
40. 30. 20. 10.
Whew. We got the applause. It's got to be a good one. It's got to be good. That was not easy. That was a 151. We'll take it. Boy, that win was going to be a doozy to deal with.
United 1702, turn next taxiway.
Oh, we made it. On behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, would like to welcome you to Dallas Fort Worth. Local time is 11:18 in the morning. We appreciate you flying United Airlines with us today.
United 1702, turn next taxiway. United 1702, contact ground on 131.0.
Or at least I beat Kev's landing
Going
rate.
to 131.0 United 1702.
All right. Ground on, what was it? To the gates, please. To the gates.
DFW ground United 1702 taxi to the gate.
United 1702 taxi to gate Delta 18 via taxiway Whiskey Lima cross runway tree 6 right Whiskey Lima Golf.
Taxiing to gate Delta 18 using taxiway Whiskey Lima cross runway tree 6 right Whiskey Lima Golf United 1702.
Yeah, it wasn't cloudy. I was expecting broken clouds and all that. I don't see a cloud in the sky. Somebody fibbed. The weather fibbed. I was expecting clouds coming in. Oh, there's clouds way over there. I was expecting the airport to be kind of a little bit cloudy. Somebody didn't tell the truth. That's it. They better... Hey, Infidel, is that you? I just saw somebody come in. There he is. Yep, we just got here in Denver. Or not Denver, Dallas, Fort Worth. Taxiing to the gate right there, and we're gonna wrap things up. Nice to see you. You missed Kev. He was flying along, but he had to go, so he landed at Air Force Base. He had a terrible landing rate. Apparently, he landed in a field and caused quite a commotion at an Air Force Base, no less. You know Kev. Yeah, we just got here to Dallas. Nice flight. Kev was going to fly the whole way with us, but he had to go, so he landed at Cannon Air Force Base, which I'm not familiar with. We just had a nice landing. Really windy here. Had a 27 knot headwind coming in. But we made it. We're gonna get ready to wrap things up here. We might let that last ad play. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Yeah. About 4.5 minutes or so before the ads start. All right, let's get the set the chocks. Request the ground power. There we go. There we go. All right. Well, there we are. All right, let's wrap things up. Try to get this done before the ads start, so we don't have to. You don't have to watch any ads. I know some people have ad breakers, but anyway, ad blockers, not breakers, blockers. So that will be it for today, folks. I will be gone next week up to Providence for Flight Sim Expo. And I will have some kind of a plan once I get back. I don't know if I'm going to fly on the 5th of July or not. If it is, it might just be a little short flight just to do something to kind of shake the dust off. But thank you all for being here. Thank you, Infidel, for popping in towards the end. Thank you, Debbie, for hanging out. Thank you, Joseph, for popping in. Thank you, Kev, for flying as long as he did. And that'll do it. I will see you all again in a couple weeks, thereabouts. I should be flying with Kev tomorrow, hopefully. I know he's trucking today, but I should be able to fly with him tomorrow at some point. We may just do the short flight, something, I don't know. Got to figure out what we're going to do. So do enjoy the rest of your Saturday morning, afternoon, evening, early Sunday already for some folks around the world. I have been and always shall be your host, pilot, lead singer, and driver of the airplane, Uncle B. Until then, peace, live long and prosper.